The effort, obviously, simply put, is to reduce recidivism by taking a holistic approach to that effort. So, generally speaking, Kent County has about roughly the same recidivism rate as Maryland, around 47 or so percent. So we started to have conversations about figuring out a way to reduce that rate internally in the office and then externally with the warden at the detention center. Warden Dennis was instrumental in input and in crafting a project that could address the issue of recidivism in Kent County. So that's how it sort of all began, just brainstorming. And during that brainstorming process, right, I read all I could about recidivism and recidivism reduction and how what role the prosecutor would play in that effort. So I learned that way, and then just having conversations with the warden in particular about his perspective on it and what he sees and how what he sees helps and what may not. With recidivism, you can't wait till someone's ready to walk out of the detention center or any facility or any detention center or any jail. That's too late. You have to start the process as soon as possible. That's why a prosecutor's role in the process of reducing recidivism is so important, because of the discretion we have. We can start that process by exercising our discretion with sentencing, with how we charge, with how we proceed at pretrial with bail and what requests we make during pretrial, and how we work with local law enforcement to identify people even at the point of arrest or even prior to arrest to divert those cases. So there's a lot of steps along the way, all that contribute to the effort to recidivize or lower the recidivizing rate and create a healthier environment for reentry if, in fact, during this course or process in the justice system, the individual has to maybe serve some time or be placed on probation. It started from the beginning, the effort to put them on the right path and support them in any way that the system can so that they're not coming back in front of the court. It's a pilot program for Kent County. There are other programs that are similar to what we're doing here. For example, in Baltimore, there's the DCREP program, which we sort of, I won't say we modeled, but we're still learning from them and still communicate with them in regards to what works and what doesn't. And so you're not going to be able to do exactly what they do in Baltimore here in Kent County, but you can take some of their ideas and you can modify them so they work here locally. But I think this approach to recidivism reduction is relatively new. The idea of reducing recidivism it's been around for quite some time, but I think this type of effort and involving the state's attorney's office or any prosecutor's office is relatively new, maybe the last 10 years or so. You have to pay attention to every case. You have to look at it individually and assess it and determine whether or not it would fit into this project. And if it does fit into the project, what services may be needed, generally speaking, so that you can fashion your approach as a prosecutor to leading that case in that direction. I mean, at some point, though, right, you're handing it off. The courts get involved, the judges, and of course the project manager, Hope Clark, and the case manager, Christina Chisholm, will all get involved and take it from there, so to speak. I mean, so the prosecutor's role in many respects is just teeing it up and getting it heading in that direction and recommending certain things to the court that are hopefully accepted and allow this person to start sooner than later on the path of healthy reentry back into the community once that time comes. And it's up and running. It's sort of a work in progress too, because this is all new to the county and it's new to anything. It's different than I think anything that's been tried here before. And one of the objectives is to pull the existing resources that are patchwork to help people in the community, pull them all together under this project, so that those resources are at the ready when needed. And then also find different resources within the community and outside the community to participate in the project as well. And beyond that is to have a community outreach, get community players involved, whether it be employers, whether it be faith-based community players, all involved in an effort to assure that everything's done to help assimilate someone back into the community in a positive, productive way, so that we don't have someone going back in front of the court. We have someone that's a productive member of our society. No, that's the problem. Exactly right. I mean, you can't just give someone a phone number and say, call this and they can help you out. And you can't do that when they're walking out of the detention center. And you have to have an outside a group like this, like Hope and Chrissy, be there for them, but from the very beginning. I think what's really important is that you're not waiting until that moment to start. You're starting as soon as you possibly can to get them heading in the right direction. And like I don't know if I said it or not, but look, it doesn't mean that someone doesn't go serve some time at the detention center or even have to go to DOC. But what it means is while that's happening, before it's happening, and when they get back, there's continuity in the effort to get them on track so they're productive when they get home.
Sure. I'm the King County Comprehensive Recidivism Reduction Project Manager. So that's the full name that was used when this grant was written by the Commissioner's Office grant writer. And it is from the Office of Crime Prevention, Youth, and Victim Services. That's really important. So it's state funds that are coming in, and if we are successful this year, we should we will reapply and have another year. So it's sort of a 2-year idea, and hopefully even longer. The benefits of what we're doing is supporting folks who, we started with when folks were incarcerated, but we are also bringing in participants from the court hearing before they are incarcerated. And as Bryan was saying, we'd like to do it even earlier. But what we offer are things that people don't have. And I was going to talk a little bit about the poverty rate too here in Kent County because, well, number one, over 80% of the folks who are incarcerated have behavioral health issues. So that's just kind of across the board what we're going to be dealing with. We know that. And then just along the Eastern Shore, just the poverty rate is 11.4% of the population. This is higher than 9.9 in the general state. So over here on the Eastern Shore, we know that we have a higher poverty rate. And then in Kent County, it's a 10.8% of our population is below poverty rate. Okay, so 10% of the folks around us in our county are living under the rate of poverty. Mm-hmm. So what we're finding is when somebody comes to us or even just being released from jail, they might not have any state-issued ID, no driver's license. They might not even have any housing. So we're starting from that place with some of these folks, and then we're working towards, workforce development, adult skills, bringing them towards getting employment. So that's, while there's the program in Baltimore focuses 100% on employment, which is awesome, right? They have judges recommending that program just because they know that if this person had a job, they would really most likely stay out of being incarcerated. So, we want that too. It just might take us a little longer to get there. But no.
So we assess their needs, right? Like what do you need? Do you need a driver's license? Do you need help getting a job? Do you need housing? Do you need food? What is the missing link where you had to resort to illegal behavior? Because I don't think people generally want to break the law, but I think that sometimes it's really hard not to in moments of desperation. So we do a needs assessment and we link them with the resources. So with driving, I'm very much a relationship person. So I reached out to this driving school and I made contact with the owner and we had a wonderful conversation. So now when I refer somebody, I can just call her and I say, hey, it's Chrissy from RRP. I'm sending somebody your way. If they don't reach out to you, give me a call and we'll try something else.
Our referrals come from Bryan. And the judge can refer somebody to the Recidivism Reduction Project, RRP, right? The detention center can recommend, and then the state's attorney would confirm that they can do RRP, and then we can do that intake either at the detention center or we can do it at parole or probation, or we can do it, at the courthouse.